Have you ever wondered, what are the secrets we've never heard of? In today's video, we're bringing you shocking and mind-blowing stories that not everyone dares to talk about. The harsh realities of women, the strange truths about the lives of famous men, and events you would never believe are real. Each of these stories will make you think deeply. We're here to unveil the hidden corners that society has long forgotten. Hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Join us in uncovering these stories and spreading this message to everyone. If you're truly curious and not afraid to face the truth, keep watching now. The next story will leave you speechless. Zion Clark, the legless legend and inner resilience. Zion Clark was born without legs, afflicted by a degenerative syndrome. But this didn't stop him from becoming a legend in the world of wrestling. From a young age, Zion faced challenges that few of us could even imagine. While other children played and ran, Zion could only watch with longing eyes. But instead of giving up, these hardships became the driving force for him to rise, not just to win in sports, but to overcome himself. It all started with a chance moment when Zion, only 12 years old, watched a wrestling match on TV. He had never considered participating in the sport, but a sudden emotion stirred within him. It wasn't fear or disappointment about his missing legs, it was a fierce determination. Why not? Zion decided to pursue wrestling, knowing he would face countless challenges. But nothing could stop him once his will was ignited. Training for Zion was an intense challenge, both physically and mentally, but he never gave up. Despite the doubts of those around him, from friends to coaches, Zion remained committed to his goal. Nothing is impossible. His journey wasn't just about winning in wrestling, but about winning each day, facing challenges that only someone like him could truly understand. Zion's relentless efforts paid off. Not only did he compete in tournaments, but he also set world records and earned admiration from everyone. Zion became a symbol of inner strength, an inspiration not only to those with disabilities, but to anyone who has ever doubted their own abilities. He proved that resilience and determination can overcome all obstacles, and only those who never give up can achieve extraordinary things. Zion's story is an indescribable source of motivation for millions around the world. He shows that no matter how difficult your circumstances, as long as you don't give up, you will find a way to rise. Zion Clark is not only a wrestling legend, but also a symbol of resilience, rising strong from the toughest hardships. His story reminds us that true strength doesn't come from physical ability, but from determination and grit. Every fall is a lesson, and every victory is a steady step forward. Zion fought not only the world around him, but also his own limits to prove that nothing is impossible. And you, what do you think about Zion's journey of overcoming hardships? Do you believe that any of us can rise up and achieve what seems impossible? Share your thoughts in the comments below the video. How has Zion inspired you? Do you feel you too can overcome the greatest challenges in life? We look forward to hearing your story and feelings. Leave a comment and let us know what you think. Usain Bolt. The journey from the stilt to the fastest man in the world. A story you can't miss. Usain Bolt, the epitome of speed, holds world records for the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds and 200 meters in 19.19 seconds. But few know that the road to his glory wasn't a smooth one, and it may even surprise you. So what made Usain Bolt the legend we know today? His story began with something no one could have imagined. You probably never thought that the fastest man in the world was once called the Stilt, right? But that was Usain Bolt when he was young. His long legs, which seemed like an advantage, turned out to be a paradox. His awkward running strides made his friends laugh, but instead of feeling sad, he found strength in his difference and turned it into an advantage. Imagine, from being ridiculed, he became the fastest man on the planet. What made Usain Bolt different? It was his long legs, and his unique running style that no one could replicate. Learning from the criticism, Usain began training in his own way. He didn't try to run like everyone else. Instead, he learned to utilize his long legs to accelerate in the most efficient way possible. An unexpected strategy was formed, and it completely changed his life. You'll surely never forget that moment when Usain Bolt first appeared on the big stage. His long strides, which seemed never-ending, turned him into a storm in the world of athletics. In Jamaica, Usain shocked everyone by breaking every national record, leaving the crowd in disbelief. And then, he continued to conquer global stages, breaking world records that made the entire world bow in admiration. 9.58 seconds, 19.19 seconds. These are numbers we will never forget when talking about Usain Bolt. Not just dry statistics, but living proof of a person who overcame every challenge and limit, turning the impossible into possible. Since then, Usain Bolt's name has become a symbol of speed, perseverance, and a powerful belief in oneself. You've probably realized that what makes Usain Bolt a legend is not only the victories he achieved, but the powerful message he conveys. Difference is not a weakness, it's strength. Usain has proven that no matter how different or strange you are, if you know how to accept and leverage those things, you can do extraordinary things. This is the story of Usain Bolt, the man who turned difference into unbeatable strength. How do you feel about his journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video if Usain Bolt's story has inspired you. Let's keep the motivation going and never give up on our dreams. Ralph Souffrant, The Beauty Revolution. When freckles become a symbol of confidence. When you hear the name Ralph Souffrant, you're not just hearing a story about a model with a face full of freckles, but a beauty revolution, a breakthrough journey that few could imagine. Ralph is not only a Haitian-born model, but he is the one who completely changed the definition of beauty in the fashion industry, where there is no room for perfection, only for self-confidence and self-acceptance. Ralph's childhood was far from easy. The freckles on his face made him the target of cruel jokes. His friends would call him Cheetah or Tiger, nicknames that mocked him and made him feel like an alien, someone who didn't belong to this world. But instead of letting these taunts crush his spirit, Ralph did something unexpected. He decided to embrace his difference. The turning point came when Ralph saw a poster for a modeling competition. A thought flashed through his mind. Could I be a model? And instead of trying to hide his freckles, he boldly stepped forward and proudly owned the trait that made him unique. He no longer feared, no longer tried to conform to an image of perfection. He was himself, with freckles, with personality, and with explosive confidence. When Ralph stepped onto the stage, it wasn't his long legs or flawless skin that made him stand out. It was his confidence, his strong sense of self that drew every eye towards him. And then, the miracle happened. Ralph not only won the competition, but he also changed the way people viewed beauty. He didn't need to be a perfect model. He only needed to be himself. I'm not a perfect model, but I am the model of myself. I am proud of my skin, and I will never hide what makes me special. That is Ralph's declaration. And since then, he has become a symbol of strength, confidence, and uniqueness. Today, Ralph Souffrant is not just a famous model. He is an inspiration to millions of people worldwide, to those who have ever felt lost or insecure about their appearance. He has proven that true beauty doesn't lie in narrow standards, but in the ability to love oneself, embrace difference, and shine from it. If you feel like you don't fit society's norms, remember Ralph Souffrant. Your difference is a precious gift, a power that can help you step forward and shine. So, what are you waiting for? Love yourself, because you are the only one who can define your own beauty. Meki Alante. Lucky, unique eyes, and a second chance at life. Meki Alante. Lucky is unlike anyone else, and it is his uniqueness that has taken him from a dark past to a bright career, becoming an inspiration to millions around the world. With his distinctive eyes, one blue and one dark brown, Mickey draws attention wherever he goes. But his story is not just about his striking appearance. It's about a journey full of determination and rebirth from poor choices. Born with one damaged eye, Mickey faced many challenges from a young age. His life became a series of wrong decisions, entangled in violence, crime, and street brawls. It got to the point where he was arrested for his involvement in a fight and faced a prison sentence. Those around him didn't believe he could escape the destructive cycle he had fallen into. But when everything seemed lost, a miracle happened. During his days behind bars, Mickey sat silently, staring out the window, and realized that life outside continued moving forward. His imperfect eyes, a feature that once made him feel isolated, now became the key to unlocking a brighter future. When Mickey was released, he had nothing but the determination to turn his life around. He enrolled in a modeling class and refused to let the criticism about his asymmetrical eyes discourage him. He entered the audition with strong confidence, capturing the attention of everyone in the room. Just a month later, he received an invitation to model for an international brand, a turning point that changed his life forever. Mickey Alante Lucky not only became a rising star on the runway, but also became a symbol of rebirth, the ability to rise after every fall. His story proves that no matter how many hardships you face, you can always get back up and shine. Mickey's unique eyes are not just a physical flaw. They are a symbol of strength, transformation, and belief in a brighter future. Mickey Alante. Lucky has proven that difference is strength, and every scar from the past can be the foundation for a stronger rebirth. His unique eyes don't just make him stand out, they inspire all those who have ever felt lost. So what do you think about Mickey's inspiring journey? Are you ready to embrace your own differences and reach for greater things? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. We would love to hear your story. Winnie Harlow, a trailblazer in vitiligo treatment. Winnie Harlow, the international model with her extraordinary black and white skin, has become an icon not only in the global fashion world, but also in the fight against beauty prejudices. She stands out not for the perfect appearance like other models, but for her unique difference, which has turned her into a symbol of confidence and personal empowerment. Winnie's radiant dark skin is marked by white patches caused by vitiligo, but instead of hiding them, she has turned them into a powerful and proud advantage. However, few know that as a child, Winnie faced harsh stares and mockery from her peers, who called her a freak and looked at her as though she didn't belong in this world. The white patches on her skin made her feel like an outsider, a strange creature everyone wanted to avoid. In those moments, Winnie felt overwhelmed by the scrutiny and longed to escape her differences. However, over time, Winnie stopped trying to erase the white patches on her skin. She began to see them as a unique part of her identity, and the words of her family echoed in her mind. If everyone looked the same, we wouldn't be human anymore. We would just be copies of each other. This perspective fueled her to turn insecurity into strength, and when she entered the fashion industry, she refused to conform to conventional beauty standards. When auditioning for a selection program, she faced curious stares and skeptical eyes from the other models who had smooth, even skin. Though doubtful, Winnie drew strength from her differences. Every white patch on her body symbolized personality and irreplaceable uniqueness. After the audition, the room fell silent for a few minutes, and then the designer chose her. His words forever changed Winnie's life. "You are a work of art. Sometimes beauty comes from imperfection." With her thriving career, Winnie is not just a famous model, but also an inspiration for millions around the world. She has redefined beauty in the fashion industry and become a beacon of diversity, affirming the power of uniqueness and personality in every form of beauty. Troy James, the extraordinary contortionist, a symbol of uniqueness and strength from difference. Troy James, a renowned actor in the horror genre, is no ordinary name. With his superhuman contortion abilities, he leaves people in disbelief every time he appears. Have you ever imagined that the human body could bend to such unimaginable extremes? Troy James, with joints twisting at impossible angles, has proven that difference is not a weakness, but an infinite strength. As a child, Troy didn't easily gain acceptance from those around him. Nicknames like Scorpion Man or the Pipe Guy were not just mockeries, but scars that made him feel lonely and out of place. The light and dark moments in Troy's life created a challenging journey. But unlike others, Troy didn't let his uniqueness stop him. Instead, he decided to train tirelessly to master his body, transforming bizarre movements into an art form. Then, one day during an audition for the horror film Scary Stories in the Dark, the unimaginable happened. He left the entire room in stunned silence with his extraordinary contortions. His joints moved in ways no one else's could, and his body seemed to defy all human limits. Those movements not only shocked, but also terrified the audience, as if he came from another world. However, behind the spotlight was Troy's inner struggle. He often wondered if he was too different. Did he truly belong to this world? But then, a moment of awakening came when a fan shared their story. They said, "My whole life I've been mocked for being small and weak. But when I saw you, I realized that no one can define who I am except me." That was the reminder Troy needed. He realized that his difference was a priceless gift, a great strength that helped him overcome all prejudice. Troy James is not just an actor, he is an inspiration to millions around the world. He proves that uniqueness is the strength that allows us to overcome any obstacle or prejudice. Never forget, you are the one who creates your own value, and it is your difference that makes you shine. Don't miss inspiring stories like Troy James. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to follow more powerful and emotional journeys from those who have overcome challenges to shine. Stan Larkin, the battle for survival and the strength to overcome fate. Stan Larkin was a healthy, energetic young man with a passion for basketball. But one day, at the age of 16, he suddenly collapsed during a game, a fall that would change his life forever. The diagnosis revealed that Stan had familial cardiomyopathy, a genetic condition that caused his heart to no longer function normally. His life was abruptly thrust into a fight for survival. Few could imagine living without a natural heart, but Stan proved that what seems impossible can become reality. The doctors told him that his heart could not be saved, and that the only option was an artificial heart. This device, the size of a backpack, became Stan's new heart, and miraculously, it allowed him to survive for 555 days without a natural heart. However, living with an artificial heart was not easy. The buzzing sounds it made whenever he moved made Stan feel as though he were an alien. Despite this, he refused to let it become a barrier in his life. With the artificial heart, Stan remained determined to live fully and never gave up. He continued playing basketball, running, and even traveling, despite the worries of his family and friends. Stan's friends and family couldn't help but worry. How can you keep living without a heart? But Stan's answer was always strong and unwavering. I don't have a natural heart, but I have the heart of a warrior. This powerful response came from someone who would never succumb to adversity. After 555 days of perseverance, Stan finally received a heart transplant. Following a tense surgery, the joy was overwhelming when his new heart began to beat. Stan made a full recovery and went on to live life to the fullest, inspiring millions around the world. Stan's story is not just a testament to the miracles of medical science, but also a profound lesson about the meaning of life. It's not what we have, but how we face challenges that truly defines us. Stan Larkin proved that even without a natural heart, courage, willpower, and medical technology can help a person not only survive, but thrive. Ben Underwood, the blind boy who defeated darkness with his superpower. Ben Underwood, a boy from Sacramento, California, faced a tremendous challenge from a very young age. At just 2 years old, a rare disease took away his sight, plunging his world into total darkness. However, rather than living in the shadows, Ben chose to transform his world into a vibrant space, not through his eyes, but through his ability to use echolocation. Echolocation is a skill that even seasoned blind individuals rarely master. But Ben did the impossible. At the age of 3, he began exploring this extraordinary ability. The sound of clapping, footsteps, or any noise became a signal in the space that Ben could sense. He used these echoes to build a 3D map in his mind, much like bats use sonar to navigate in the dark. With this ability, Ben could not only detect objects around him but also perceive his environment in such detail that it was as if he had a second pair of eyes. Thanks to this superhuman talent, Ben learned not only how to walk but also how to play basketball, ride a bike, and even play video games. All these feats became possible for him through daily practice with his special gift. He overcame every challenge, not only in daily life but also in sports, leaving those around him amazed. One of the most memorable moments in Ben's life was when he was asked if he was afraid of falling. He smiled and replied, "Fear is instinct, but overcoming it is courage." Ben's answer not only stunned people but also inspired everyone who heard his story. However, in 2009, when Ben was just 16, he faced another challenge, the battle against cancer. Despite his immense courage, Ben could not defeat the disease. But the story of Ben Underwood lives on. He became a symbol of inner strength and unbreakable resilience, a source of inspiration for anyone facing difficulties in life. Ben's story proved that light doesn't come from the eyes, but from the heart and the power of perseverance. Ben Underwood lived and fought not with his eyes, but with his heart. And it was his tenacity that illuminated an entire world of darkness. The man with 2 penises. The power of confidence and acceptance. The story of John, famously known as the man with 2 penises, begins with a rare medical condition he was born with. However, his story is not just about this physical anomaly, it's also a journey of overcoming insecurity and self-acceptance. From a young age, John felt different from other kids, who often boasted about their first crushes while he completely avoided such topics. In a high school sex education class, when the teacher spoke about normal anatomy, John realized he was unlike anyone else. That moment marked the beginning of a deep-seated insecurity within him. However, upon turning 16, John opened up to his mother about his feelings of shame. She hugged him tightly and said, "You are not a monster, John. You are my treasure." These words illuminated the dark world inside him. After growing up, John began to learn more about his condition. He consulted doctors and participated in medical research. After a thorough investigation, the doctors advised him to undergo surgery to remove one of his organs to make his personal life easier. This was an incredibly difficult decision, but in the end, John chose to embrace his body as it was. He shared this decision in a social media post, writing, "I am not a mistake of creation. I am who I am, with all the quirks my body brings." This post garnered attention from millions and became an inspiration for those struggling with body insecurities. John not only accepted himself, but also inspired others to recognize that differences do not diminish one's worth. His 2 organs were no longer seen as a curiosity, but as symbols of strength, confidence, and the ability to challenge societal stigmas. John stepped out of the shadows of shame and became a symbol of self-acceptance and triumph over judgment. Caleb Mutombo, the athlete who defied prejudice and illness. You've likely heard miraculous stories of strength overcoming adversity, but Caleb Mutombo's story will certainly make you reconsider the true limits of human potential. Caleb, a bodybuilder from Africa, was born with sickle cell disease, a condition that subjects him to constant pain, fatigue, and exhaustion. But rather than let illness defeat him, he transformed every hardship into motivation to achieve what others thought was impossible. However, Caleb's journey is not just a battle against his illness. Societal prejudice is another adversary he faces. When he first began, people mocked him, believing he could never pursue bodybuilding because his frail body couldn't lift weights, let alone compete in strenuous sports. Yet Caleb refused to let their derision deter him. He started training in a small room, lacking specialized equipment, relying only on simple items like water bottles, wooden chairs, and bags of rice. Each day, he wrestled with physical pain and exhaustion, but nothing could stop his determination. Then came the competition day. Caleb's physique wasn't as imposing as that of his competitors, but it was his rapid recovery and fighting spirit that left the audience in awe. Although he didn't win first place, he received a special award for his relentless fighting spirit. Caleb's story quickly spread, inspiring thousands around the world. Imagine a boy from Caleb's old neighborhood asking him, "Mr. Caleb, if your legs weren't sick, would you still be a bodybuilder?" Caleb smiled and replied, "Maybe I would, but I wouldn't understand the power of laughter. These legs not only support me, but also help me stand firm when the world tries to bring me down." Caleb's story is not just a lesson in bodybuilding. It's a testament to resilience and indomitable strength. If you find this story inspiring, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to share this story with your friends to spread Caleb's fighting spirit to even more people. Denzel Washington's bent pinky, the secret behind a Hollywood icon. Denzel Washington's bent pinky is a feature that not everyone notices, but for him, it has become an important part of his life and career. From a young age, his crooked finger was the target of teasing from his friends. They would question how he could possibly shoot a basketball accurately with a finger out of alignment. Despite the mockery, Denzel refused to let it become an obstacle. Instead, he used the teasing as motivation, practicing hard every single day. And when he made that game-winning three-pointer, a friend had to admit, "That bent finger must be your lucky charm." This was just the beginning. Denzel Washington showed that an imperfect trait could become a symbol of strength. As he entered the acting world, his bent pinky continued to be a subject of discussion. One director even bluntly said, "Your finger might distract the audience." But Denzel didn't let this slow him down. He channeled all his energy and passion into every role, turning what others saw as a flaw into a strength. Soon, his bent finger was no longer something people feared, but a distinctive feature of each emotional scene. One of the most memorable moments in Denzel's career was when he won an Oscar. Standing on stage, holding the prestigious trophy, he proudly said, "They said that bent finger would hold me back, but it reminds me that what matters is not how you look, but how you use what you have to succeed." From that moment, Denzel's bent pinky became a symbol of perseverance, confidence, and the ability to overcome any barrier. Denzel proved that nothing is insurmountable. His bent finger didn't weaken him. Instead, it helped him stand strong and become the Hollywood icon we know today. Every time Denzel points in an intense scene, that bent finger leaves a lasting impression, drawing all eyes to him. No one can ignore his presence, not just because of his talent, but also because of the way he embraces himself, imperfections and strengths alike. So, what do you think about turning a flaw into strength? Don't let comments or imperfection hold you back. You can absolutely transform challenges into motivation and success. Share your story in the comments. Denzel did it. How about you? Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive more inspiring stories. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. The stories we've shared may not always be easy to hear, but they reflect the hidden aspects of life that we seldom get to see. We appreciate you joining us as we uncover these secrets. If you find these stories thought-provoking, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming videos. We aim to spread these deep messages and hope to see you again in our next videos. Thank you, and see you soon.